It's day 21 of the Body Shaping for Women Over 50 series, and today is Sunday Run Day. Let's go! All right, killer bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving, and that means that we are getting started with some arm circles and high knees, you guys. You guys, I'm excited about this one, as I am every Sunday. Welcome to the workout. I'm Pahla B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend, and I am a runner. So, having said that, let me tell you very, very clearly, you do not have to run today. Thank you very much for clicking on this. I know, at least I think I know, that if you don't like running, you might not have clicked at all. So I know I'm probably talking to somebody who is at least kind of willing to maybe think about it, but here's the dealio. Don't run if you don't want to run. There's nothing magic about running except that I happen to love it, and it's a really easy way for me to be able to talk to you about the program and about what we're doing and how to get results and all that kind of good stuff without having to think about cueing the workout or cueing the exercises. So that's why we have a running day every week. It is meant to be moderate cardio. You are totally welcome to fill in with whatever you'd like to do instead. You can just plain old walk. You can walk and brisk walk. You can fill in with your favorite exercises. You can do anything you want, my friends. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. But here's the thing about today, is that it's meant to help you get the most out of this program altogether. And in fact, let me just real quick, just in case you clicked on this because you were like, ooh, walk and run video, and didn't notice that it was day 21 of a 29-day program. Here's the dealio. This is a Body Shaping for Women Over 50 series, and I do have an information resource that explains all about it that is going to be pretty pertinent to you, especially today for our conversation today. Make sure that when you are on desktop or mobile that you open up the description box below the video and you download the information resource. It explains everything that I don't even have time to get to, and I know you're thinking, but you're talking a lot, Paula. Yes, I am, but I still have things to tell you. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes, because welcome to my home, you guys. I've got the interval timer here set today for 1-minute intervals. I'm going to go back and forth between walking and running. Again, you are so welcome. You are so welcome to do whatever you want with this. Truly, this is like a free play day or an all skate kind of a day. It's for you to take in what I'm going to tell you and get whatever kind of a workout you want to get out of it. In fact, if you want to, you can do one of the moderate cardio videos from some other day and simply listen to this later. That's totally okay too. I'm here to talk to you today, about getting results and what to do after the 29th day of this program. Let's go ahead and get moving. I'm going to go ahead and start walking. You're welcome to walk or not walk, to run or not run. Oh, and the other thing is, if you are not used to not wearing shoes, put on shoes. I meant to mention that really early on. Feel free to pause the video and put on shoes. I've been running barefoot since forever. This is not problematic for me. I've been running for 14 years. This is really easy, moderate, gentle for me personally, and I walk and run and exercise barefoot as a matter of personal preference. If you have not done that before, today's walk and run with the 1-minute intervals is going to be way too much to do barefoot. So please put on shoes. I have so many walk and run videos that can get you from, all walking to all running that you can do indoors. In fact, I will link the playlist below that really kind of explains all about how to get started with running. This series, truly not meant for beginner runners, not meant for somebody who wants to learn how to run, because again, I have a lot to say during these workouts. And so the 30 minutes is actually kind of a lot for a beginning runner. Even with relatively short intervals, it can be too much for you. So take today however you want to take it and enjoy it however you want to enjoy it. The other thing before we really get into it, I just needed to mention this shirt. You guys, I don't always mention it, but if you ever want to purchase anything that I am wearing, there's almost always a link in the description box. Again, you need to be on mobile or desktop to be able to get into the description box. But I buy a lot of my clothes on Amazon, and so I bought this shirt because I was looking for something really different and unusual, and I grew up, I was a teenager in the 80s and a young woman in the 90s. I have worn my share of mesh clothing. before. This is actually 2 shirts. So the black shirt is an overlay over the pink tank top. I got this shirt and I was just like, yeah, that's a mesh tank top, isn't it? And I love it. It's actually really comfortable. And I don't know how it shows up on camera, but in person, it's actually pretty cute. So, but if you ever like anything that I'm wearing, you can feel free to open up the description box. Some of what I wear is really, really old. Some of what I wear was purchased at TJ Maxx years ago or Old Navy. I always buy inexpensive clothes, you guys. I don't believe in spending a ton of money, except every once in a while on things like running skirts. I do pay full price for my running skirts and some of my ink and burn my leggings that you've seen, the ones that look like mermaids and the ones that look like jeans. I do spend full price on those. Those are not affiliate links. Those are just because I'm a big fan. But you guys, let's talk about getting results from this program. Here we are, 21 days in. We are 3 weeks in. And how are you feeling? What are you noticing? Because I notice, watching the numbers, that you might not be following along with the program exactly as it's laid out. Now, I know that some of you are like a couple days behind, or you're working on other things, or you've been on vacation and all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, and I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, like, I've noticed that there are a pretty distinct different numbers between the push day, the cardio day, and the recovery days. And what I mean by that is that the recovery days are not getting quite as many views, and I find that super interesting. Here's what I've told you so many times during this program. Recovery is essential. I'm going to leave it at that today because I have mentioned that to you so many times that that's not my soapbox for the day. But here's what I'm going to tell you about however you are using this program. The way to get results from my program, from anybody's program, is to follow it, certainly, but also to follow it and really pay attention. I know I've said that so many times. I've told you to, think about tomorrow, plan for tomorrow, think about today, pay attention to how you're feeling, pay attention to your results. But what I mean by pay attention is not just in the moment. Like right now, I don't like running. That's totally fair. That's something to pay attention to, absolutely. But when you pay attention, it's a really good idea to actually write things down. The taking notes part of paying attention is probably, arguably, even more essential than, well, they go together. You do have to pay attention to be able to take notes, certainly, but when you're paying attention, it's a really good idea to actually put your thoughts and feelings into words that you can look back on later. Because sometimes in the moment, something will be happening that you think it feels like this or like that, but then later, you'll realize that there was a pattern developing that you couldn't see in the moment. It happens to all of us. I'm absolutely the kind of girl who has just recently come around to taking notes on what I do. I love to just keep moving forward and keep trying to push and keep trying to get what I want to get and kind of plan ahead, but also not really plan ahead. But when I started taking notes on exactly how I felt every day while doing a program, it became very clear what was actually going on. After I had gotten several weeks into it, after I had gotten a lot further with it than simply the day-to-day. When you take notes, first of all, it makes it really easy to see your progress. You'll notice that just 3 weeks in, you are probably already better at something that was really hard for you 3 weeks ago. Or maybe not really hard, but something that was harder than it is now. There are things that you are now capable of doing only 3 weeks in that you might not notice if you weren't taking notes, or that you'll notice your next time through, which which I'm going to get to in a little bit. But when you are paying attention and taking notes, I'm going to really encourage you to take notes on really objective things like your numbers. I mean, if you want to watch what you weigh, watch what you weigh. If you want to watch your muscle tone or your body fat numbers, write those down or have some kind of a record. I mean, thankfully, my Smart Scale, it sends the numbers to an app. So I have a visual graph of everything that's gone on with my body for the last 5 months. So I wholeheartedly encourage you to pay attention to actual numbers, objective, factual, relatively speaking, truthful numbers. I mean, there's a grain of salt to be taken with anything that your scale is measuring. I mean, there's all kinds of guesses that are going on with your scale, and that really is a conversation for another day. But having the numbers helps you see trends, helps you see what's going on with your big picture. And having your, I'm going to call it your emotional notes. How did you feel? What were you thinking? And how did that play out over the course of a couple of days or a couple of weeks? Where was your motivation? Where was your feeling of confidence? All of those kinds of thoughts and feelings absolutely play into the results that you are getting. Like 100%, like I cannot stress this enough. I know that we would all love to believe that it is only our actions that get us results. But sometimes, not even sometimes, all of our actions come from our thoughts and our feelings. So if you are thinking something like, this program doesn't work for me, I don't like it, this is not fun, I'd really rather do something different, etc., even if you're going through the motions, even if you're making your body do the things, your results are going to show what you were thinking and feeling. Pay attention to that too. Pay attention and write them down. And the other thing that I'm going to tell you, you guys, be patient. You know, even when we were younger, we still had to be somewhat patient in order to get results. It takes time to build muscle. It takes time to lose fat. It takes time to see and feel changes. But at this age and this stage, it takes a little bit longer. And I mean, if you, like me, were not just born with an abundance of patience, it can feel more frustrating than it needs to. Like, oh, you know, I'm not getting better at balance, or, oh, I'm not seeing anything with all these weights that I'm lifting. Give it some time. And here's where I'm going to go with that. The reason we're talking about this today is because I know that 3 weeks in, you are looking for results. You are thinking to yourself, what's going to come next? And I will tell you that what comes next is this. Again, over and over and over. Maybe not this exact program, but something like this. This program, really specifically, is meant to be repeatable, like 100%. Like if you followed along with the weight loss program that I did in January, the 31 days of weight loss, that program also meant to be repeatable over and over and over. It's why this program is 29 days. You don't have to do day 0 again because you've already gone through it all. You know what the rhythm is and what's going to happen, how we're eating, what we're doing, all that kinds of good stuff. So you can do the 28 days of work again and again and again and again. And you can consider it a cycle, a 4-week cycle, where for the first 4 weeks, I mean, really, for the first 4 weeks, all you're doing is getting through it. You're just getting through it. You're getting your feet wet. You're getting a feel for how the program works, what it feels like day to day, how to eat, how to think about it, how to fuel. There are meant to be lots of mistakes and lots of not feeling like you're really getting anywhere in the first month. That is completely normal and exactly what I would expect for you, especially if this is kind of brand new to you, this style of training. Then, for the next 4 weeks, you can refine whatever gave you the most trouble. Was it figuring out how heavy to lift? Was it figuring out how much water to drink, how much to eat, how much to sleep? Was it knowing how to moderate? Was it convincing yourself to do the recovery days, whatever it was that gave you the most trouble on round 1 is what you can refine on round 2. And then if there was something else that gave you trouble, you can work on that during round 3. Honestly, I expect you to see like real results, like really, man, I'm looking in the mirror, I'm looking on the scale, I'm looking in my head, I'm thinking about myself in 4 months, 4 cycles of either this exact program or something very, very similar. That's how long it's gonna take to really hone in and get your best out of it. And I mean that to sound encouraging. I understand that it might not, but I mean that to sound really encouraging. Where you are right now, if you have not suddenly seen, gorgeous muscles popping out of your arms and everything feels like you're balanced and wonderful and strong and everything on this first round, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Nothing's going wrong. There's nothing about this program or any program that is going to give you miracles in just a couple of weeks. It takes time. It takes time. It takes consistency. It takes paying attention, taking notes, and being patient. Being patient with yourself for figuring things out, and being patient with Mother Nature. Mother Nature, she needs some time to make adaptations. And that's a good thing. I mean, let's talk about that just really quickly. If your body changed like immediately, like imagine if you didn't have stored energy and you had to eat like in order to do anything, like you needed to eat a big meal in order to exercise. And then when you exercised, if you lifted weights, if you got like huge muscles right away, or I mean, I know that some of us would love to think, if I did a lot of cardio, then all of a sudden I lost all the weight, all of the calories, whatever. But if your body changed that fast, that dramatically, all the time, you'd never be able to buy clothes. Like you'd never be able to count on anything. You'd constantly be eating. You'd constantly probably be tired. Like your body has a system in place for everything to just work out fine. But sometimes those systems take a while. So being patient with yourself, your ability to follow a program, but also just really, really, really being patient with Mother Nature, being patient with the fact that it takes weeks and possibly months to see and feel significant results. That's how we get results. The other thing that I'm going to tell you is to really think about the results that you're getting. And I'm going to tell you that one of the most important things that you can do, and it is a little premature because we're a week away from our last day of round 1, but the most important thing that you can do is congratulate yourself. To be really, really, really proud of every single thing that you do. And I know that sounds like, really? Why? Because this isn't where I want to be yet. I'll wait. I'll congratulate myself when I get there. But here's the thing that I've noticed about all of us, myself included. By the time you get there, you're probably already going to have your eyes on another prize. That maybe you'll feel pretty good about where you are, but there might still be a part of your brain that's thinking, well, this isn't all that I wanted. I want to get a little bit further. I want to get a little bit better. When you constantly have a moving target like that, it puts you in a place where you're never actually satisfied with where you are. Being satisfied with where you are and wanting to make improvements, it takes practice. That's why I personally feel like it is hugely important to congratulate yourself for every single thing. Congratulate yourself every time you do a workout. Congratulate yourself every time you notice that something was a tiny bit easier. Congratulate yourself for every 0.1% of muscle that you have built. Congratulate yourself all the time. I know that you are worried that you will get a big head and you will be super conceited and you will just think that you are the best thing since sliced bread. And I will tell you that that's not really what happens. When you feel confident and satisfied and happy with yourself, it doesn't actually make you a conceited jerk. It really just makes you a really pleasant person to be around. When you notice all of your little wins, you'll notice other people's too. You will find yourself handing out compliments freely and easily in a way that maybe you wouldn't if you weren't so easy to give them to yourself. It's just a matter of practicing, a matter of thinking about it. I know that that's like the weirdest advice ever. You guys, I know. If you're relatively new to the Pahla B Fitness channel, you might know, or you might not know rather, that this is the kind of thing that I actually talk about over on my podcast. I'll have a link for you in the description box below. It's called the Fitness Matters Podcast. And we talk about the mindset of fitness and how much it matters. That to me is probably one of those, it's like a hidden gem that not everybody talks about. The way that you think about your results is how you're going to see your results. I have worked with so many clients over the years who have gotten really significant, impressive, amazing results and not been happy with them because they couldn't see them. They weren't thinking about them. They weren't noticing and paying attention. They just wanted more. Don't let that be you. I really want you to be happy with the results that you get. And I want you to know that this program is super adaptable. Whether or not you want to continue to get muscle building results, you can actually use this framework to get any kind of results that you want. Like literally any kind of results that you want, except weight loss. Weight loss really requires something different. We covered that on day 0. Weight loss really requires like a super consistency. Other kinds of adaptations. Specifically, I mean, this is appropriate here on Sunday RUnday. If you are thinking, gee, I'd kind of like to run, or I already run and I'd kind of like to get better, excuse me, this program is very adaptable for whatever kind of an improvement you want to make. Let's say that maybe you don't really love strength training, that you've given this a good shot, you're going to make it all the way through the 29 days, but strength is kind of, I mean, it's all right, but it's not really your jam. Trust me, I'm your girl. I hear you on this. Here's what you can do. You can turn this into a cardio program. 1 push day where you're pushing your cardio. Then 4 moderate days where you're doing some strength, some cardio toning, some more cardio, and 2 days of recovery. Let's say that you would like to either start running or improve your running. Well, let's have 1 push day where you're either running farther or faster, not both, and not trying to make them both improvements at the same time. Pick one. Either one is fine with me, but just pick one. Your push day is where you are pushing either faster or farther. And then you have 4 moderate days where you are also running, maybe doing some core work too, because that's always a good idea, and 2 days of recovery. You guys, you can do anything with this program. This framework works. This is actually how I've been training with running for a long time. And it's super fun for me personally to notice how adaptable this kind of work really is. At our age, having 1 push day a week where we are really, truly pushing right up to the point where we do not want to be pushing anymore. It's enough. It really is. Having the 2 days of recovery where we're working on different systems, having the 4 days of moderation where we're still moving, still having a good time, still getting sweaty, still enjoying the workout. It's the best of all worlds. And if you pay attention, take notes, and are patient, you can get any kind of result that you are looking for. Now, I understand But you might have some questions. I mean, here's the thing. I do not anticipate that you are a fitness trainer. You might be. That's exciting. But I understand that you might have some questions about exactly how to get the specific results that you are looking for. Feel free to leave a comment. You can always ask me questions about how is the best way to do this, that, or the other. I will tell you, the information resource and this conversation can really set you on the right path to gain whatever kind of results you want from this program or any other program. I understand that the body shaping program is not for everybody. This kind of strength work, this kind of sometimes we're on the ground work, I know, not everybody loves it. I know. This is going to be our last walking. Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to do one more walking. That was our last running, but I'm really going to just cool it on down now. Because you guys, we're on the home stretch. Here's the thing. This was our penultimate Sunday run day. This week is our 4th week. It's our last push day tomorrow. So we're really thinking, okay, what have I learned so far? How do I need to fuel? What's coming tomorrow? Well, tomorrow is going to be push day. You already know what's coming. You can already plan for tomorrow, knowing, based on the last couple of weeks, what it has felt like. Go ahead and plan for that now. Today was meant to be nice and moderate. We're just keeping our heart rate up, but not too up. Tomorrow we're pushing with weights for what might be your last time, or at least your last time in this cycle. Then we're gonna have a day of recovery. Then we're gonna have a couple of moderate days, another day of recovery, and a couple more moderate days. Next Sunday run day is our final Sunday run day of this first cycle. So you guys, okay, I'm actually gonna go ahead and just start tapping this out. I'm doing some arm circles, taking some nice big deep breaths. You did a really good job today. I know this was a lot to think about. I know, it always is. That's why I love Sunday Run Day, is because I'm able to give you things to think about. And I think we've already made it clear. I like it when you are thinking about your routine. Let's go ahead and do some arm openers. And arm closers. Give yourself a big hug and a pat on the back. You guys, make sure that you open up the description box. I mean, pretty much always, but really specifically because of all the different resources that I mentioned today. Make sure that you open up the description box. And like I said, if you have a question about how to move forward with this program or something like it, feel free to ask. That's what we do here, is we think about what we're gonna do next. You guys, make sure you subscribe, because tomorrow, it's push day, and I'll see you then.